Well, my name's Hans Laetz. Diane and I have lived out here for 15 years, been married for 31. My 3 daughters went to Malibu High School. They've all got a great education. They're all scattered around the world now. I worked as a reporter for 35 years, 25 years in LA television. And if you think Malibu politics are tough, LA television, try that. My challenge is going to be to take the fact-finding, the prioritizing, the writing abilities, and to work with people, to listen to people, to hear what their perspectives are, and incorporate that into a plan of action that people can agree to. And we're never going to agree on everything, but we are going to find reasonable compromise. And we are going to make decisions based on facts. And there are times and places for opinions, and opinions are important, but when you all boil it down, it's facts. And I've been living in a fact-based world for 40 years, and that's what I'm all about. There's a council of governments that Malibu is a part of, and they have a priority list for transportation projects. Malibu and PCH is at the bottom. You know what's been at the top of that list? Rebuilding the overpass at Reyes Adobes in the 101 freeway over in the Conejo Valley. There are 3 overpass improvement projects on 101 that have been more important than a traffic safety project on Pacific Coast Highway. Our city agreed to that. There's a problem there. I have a real problem with the city of Malibu agreeing to rebuild overpasses on the 101 freeway and not fixing Pacific Coast Highway. The Malibu City Council, I think, was too accommodating to other nearby cities and to Caltrans. And it's time to get a little bit tougher with surrounding cities, and time to demand a seat at the table. The most dangerous part of PCH in terms of accidents is not in the city of Malibu. It's east of us toward Topanga Canyon Boulevard and down to the Pacific Palisades. That part of the highway hasn't been improved since 1959. There's a hillside near Joffrey's where the hillside is falling down. It's an active landslide. Caltrans has known about it for years. They put in a project there about 20 years ago to try to fix it, and it didn't work. 3/4 of Malibu lives north of that landslide. When that highway fails, we're not going to have a way to get to the Civic Center or a way to get to Santa Monica. Can you imagine the disruption that's going to cause here in Malibu? 3/4 of the city is going to be cut off from the rest of LA County, except by Canaan Road. That's a big problem. Caltrans built that highway in 1947. The last time Caltrans did any major safety improvements was in 1964. 1964? What are we thinking? How can anything last 50 years without a major safety improvement? The Malibu City Council is finding itself at a real crossroads. The major issue we're going to have is Malibu becoming a mature city. We're here, we're responsible for our city, we're responsible for our people, and we don't really need to have outside agencies tell us what to do anymore because we're mature enough to make the right decisions ourselves. It's crazy. Tourists can't figure out what's going on. They slow down, they get rear-ended. Natives know what's going on, but not everybody has the same expectation. They get rear-ended. The city of Malibu has just accepted it as being the way it is. Nobody has ever gone to Caltrans. Nobody has ever gone to the state legislature, and no one has ever gone to the Council of Governments, which controls funding for highway projects, and said, this is not acceptable. And it's not acceptable. The city has never gone to Caltrans and put them on the spot for Caltrans failures. And Caltrans has failed to keep that road safe. As a reporter and as a private citizen, I've gone to numerous meetings, more than a dozen, with Caltrans, and sat there and watched as the wrong questions were being asked by the city, and no demands were being made by the city. Caltrans is not an unreasonable group of people, we just haven't pressed them. You can go anywhere in Malibu and find an easy solution, a safe solution, and an obvious solution. Even the Caltrans people admit this. I've counted on a heavy beach day there are only 40 cars parked on the land side of Pacific Coast Highway at Zuma Beach. 40 cars on the inland side of the road are all we have to move. We could eliminate this enormous hazard of people with kids and beach blankets and buckets and all these things trying to cross through freeway traffic in essence. We could easily move those people into the parking lot and get them out of harm's way. The Coastal Commission, the county beaches and harbors, Caltrans, no one's ever sat down with them to talk about it. I brought this up at Caltrans meetings, I brought this up at City Hall. I did a report about Pacific Coast Highway safety and gave it to the city 2 years ago. Good news, the county sheriff took my report and he likes it. He likes that idea. The county just put out a new traffic safety report for Pacific Coast Highway, and they took my idea and they told me so. I'm happy. Good. Now maybe we'll get some movement. If I get elected, we will get some movement. Unlike, a few of the candidates are playing up the fact that they're third generation Malibu, or that they were born here, they went to school here. I can respect that, but I think it's more important that I really had to work hard to get here. My wife and I didn't have a lot to start with, and we had a beautiful family, and we were able to buy a few houses here and there and fix them up and rent them out and cash in all the chips to come out here and buy a fixer-upper in Trancas. Well, I was working as a reporter back in 2007, and I was up in Malibu Canyon an hour after that fire broke out, that terrible fire that took out 15 houses in the castle and burned all the way down to the beach. And I saw the pole that fell over, and it was one of those poles that everybody has seen in Malibu. They're like this. They've got wires on them in all different directions. They're overloaded, they're spindly, they look like they're going to fall over, and one of them fell over, caused a big fire. People were almost killed. That really made me nervous, made me worry about all these other power poles in Malibu. So I paid a lot of attention to it. I quit my reporting job after I got my law degree and went into environmental law. And I was working for an outfit up in San Francisco on natural gas issues, and poked my head into the office that was investigating the Malibu Canyon fire. They weren't doing anything. I filed to be an intervener in the lawsuit, and I actually am a party to the state's action against Southern California Edison for having overloaded their power poles and caused that fire. I actually got to sit across the table from a Edison vice president and grill him in this deposition and ask him why these power poles fell over. The reason these power poles caught fire back in 2007 is because they're overloaded and they fell over. I've been working with the Public Utilities Commission. I've been going up to San Francisco on my own nickel and have found out that the risk in California is huge. Just last December we had 211 power poles blow over in the San Gabriel Valley, and a third of those were overloaded. We still have that danger above us here in Malibu, and every time the wind blows, we are at severe risk of another pole falling over and another big fire happening. And I've discovered that this is a widespread danger, not only in Malibu, but in the entire Santa Monica Mountain region, in the entire Southern California Edison service area. It's a big problem. And we won a $12 million settlement from a few of the cell phone companies that overloaded these power poles. And my job now is to make sure that that money stays here in Malibu. The problem is the state sees this $12 million in settlement money that we won, and they want to take that money back up to Sacramento for the budget. The budget's important, but I think it's more important that we keep that money here in Malibu in the Santa Monica Mountains. I'm proposing that we use every dime to inspect every single power pole in the Santa Monica Mountains and in Malibu to see if they're overloaded. Experiences that they are overloaded, and we need to find out which ones have problems and then make the power companies fix them. This money is going to come from the power companies' profits. This is not going to mean a rate increase. This is money that they've already taken from the people. Now the fight is to make sure that the ratepayer doesn't pay to fix these poles, that the companies pay for it out of their guaranteed profits. We're talking about billions of dollars here. The things I learned in television news were to always find every reason why someone would object to something. Find out every fact you can and address it. Find out what people's worries are and approach them with them, telling them that you understand what their worries are and that here's how those worries can be addressed. Leadership means being able to find out what people want from you and how you can serve them. My name's Hans Laetz, running for Malibu City Council. It's time to give back.